I got thousands of impressions, shares, likes, comments, and put up a 2-hour content piece resulting in over $2,000 in free merchandise given away to one of my viewers without spending a dime on ads, without spending a dime of my own money on the prize package or anything outside of just my time shooting a Facebook live feed for 2 hours until my phone battery died. I figured out a fun giveaway strategy that involved going to a popular industry trade show, walking the vendor floor where people were selling and promoting their new products in the vendor mall, and while going live on my Facebook business page and having an industry influencer co-host with me who also happened to have like a decent social media following, get the vendors to showcase their newest and most popular products while we walked around and made for great content while telling everybody on the feed. The catch is that whoever liked and shared and commented the most on the live feed would get the entire bag of freebies from all the vendors. So it made for some really good content, a lot of good conversations, a fun time bantering with the co-host and that sort of thing. And then we had this giant bag of giveaways. But none of the content really featured my business directly. There wasn't even really much of a direct call to action. In fact, I was mostly a brick and mortar store location. We had a chain of stores through Colorado and Wyoming. So the funny thing though is that going viral seems to make all your other ads work even better. So I was already running paid ads, but I went viral and all of a sudden like, everything did a lot better. So I started looking into why. Obviously, viral content strategy could be duplicated, and I knew, and I did this too, as it resulted in some sales right away, where people talked about seeing the feed, but you saw the feed, and so right away we got some sales where we knew it kind of resulted from that. But what about my lead generation ads getting more customers for less spend? Or my email lead magnets capturing new emails at twice the volume on the same budget? These are all really good things, and I was looking into these numbers. I was tracking these analytics. As a business owner, you want to know where your money is going. And so sometimes having the time to look through the data is really difficult, but I started figuring that out. And it turns out there was really good empirical reasons why a rising tide lifts all ships, right? But the devil's in the details. So since then, I've only gotten more and more serious about analyzing my ad results as an advertiser and looking at what matters. And I can tell you that as a business owner, you have two goals with your advertising. You need to get attention and you need to get results. Now you can get attention through posting viral content like I did. And a lot of times, posted hundreds of times leading up to that to actually get that to hit. But through the course of doing that, you also get attention. So posting regularly as a business owner is something you should be doing no matter what. But you can also run ads that actually farm the attention for you for engagement, page likes, things like this. And it doesn't cost a lot of money. Those types of campaigns have very low cost per impression, right? But then you have the goal of getting results too, and you run objective focused campaigns to get those results in special algorithmic objectives in Meta. So unfortunately, everyone pays attention to the bottom of funnel results like leads, sales. That's the only metric they really look at or have time to look at, unfortunately. And so they just start directing all of their messaging into their offer. So now all of their messaging is just direct response. 90% of the businesses out there that are advertising on Meta, so their ads go into the abyss of direct response, static image squares on Facebook timeline and audience network feeds, right? So once I had a substantial lift in my overall brand impressions through a viral Facebook strategy, I realized that the marketing process is sequential. It's psychologically sequential. Don't go out on the first date with somebody and then ask them to marry you. You tell them a story, you tell them a joke, you get to know them, you go out on another date, you deepen the relationship, and then maybe a marriage proposal comes, right? Same thing in human relationships. It's sequential. So and the meta targeting algorithm needs to warm people up as well because it works in the same way. It understands which parts of your ad ecosystem, what ads are going to do the best when they're retargeting somebody based on how warm they are to you. So I needed ads that simply could get great attention and market penetration with low CPMs to really penetrate the market and get lots of attention, whether it was my ideal client or not, really. Or just free content posting does that as well, covered, while also running killer direct response pieces that did much better as retargeting psychology placements. Meaning that those direct response ads that were like, hey, here's my offer, do business with me, those did much better when they were wrapped in content or wrapped in ads that were just meant to get attention, like a meme or something kind of funny. Obviously, just a meme being part of it, not the whole strategy. Like a 2-hour viral live feed, that was really not really a direct response piece. It was just a content piece that really did a big job for me. It really helped lift a bunch of impressions and get the attention, so then the direct response stuff could retarget a lot better. So unfortunately, people don't prioritize the attention piece of it, and so I've developed an analytics system to look at ad accounts and figure out what parts of the media ecosystem in your ad account are getting attention, and how do we measure that? And then what parts of the ad account are getting the leads, and how do we measure that? And then what are some directions you can go in from a media buying perspective to improve performance, and what parts of the copywriting and the headlines and the primary text are working the best, so we can try to maybe create better versions of those. So all of these important things to take into account as far as getting attention and getting results for our goals, not just the goal of getting results, but the goal of getting attention and letting Meta do its magic around retargeting people. So I built this into my weekly analytics process to take into account the big picture for much more of the data from my ads than just cost per lead. And this report's really easy to produce with the right raw data exports. I built it for anyone to use. It's really a simple tool. You can get the raw data exports from your ad account, even just while you're running ads. You can download the reports. I walk you through how to do that next. And you just use my custom .md file with my custom PDF template, all in a simple ChatGPT prompt. So you're just going to type basically a sentence, and you attach these two things, and you attach your 6 reports. It's important you do it this way, because this way you get a really good quality result every time, even as ChatGPT rolls out new updates to their learning models. I recommend you just use the best model available and turn their little effort meter up all the way. I'll show you how to do that as well. Just make sure you turn it up all the way. Tell it to think. Because you're basically going to set it and forget it. You'll set up the tool, run it the way I show you, and you can just set it in a different tab while you work on something else and let it do a really thorough job of working through all the research. Because what you're going to get in the report also is industry benchmarks based on your general industry. Like, is your advertising going in the right direction? Which metrics are good when they go up? Which metrics are bad when they go up? Like that kind of stuff. So this is a really useful tool, and I've created it in such a way that it's a lot easier for a business owner to consume. I used to generate really detailed analytics for my clients, and found that even my more sophisticated clients didn't find it helpful. But what everybody found helpful, including those more sophisticated clients, was this much better breakdown of how the analytics apply to the meta algorithmic system, as far as how it distributes content and how it distributes impressions on ads, and how it's applicable to our brand messaging and our strategy, right? So I hope this is helpful. You can just follow the link in the pinned comment to go ahead and get the template and the .md file, which is basically a program I've created that guides ChatGPT when you run the simple prompt with your 6 reports attached, just like I'm going to show you here. All right, thanks. Okay, so I want to roll through this report and just kind of highlight some of the important parts of this and why it's useful. So this is a report for one of my clients that I recently ran. And what the report highlights in this analytics breakdown is not just the bottom of funnel metrics, right? Like our cost per lead. Obviously, that's like the most important, or that's one of the more important ones here. But also what's important is to look at like the hold rate on videos, the unique click-through rates on ads in general. Our impressions, what are we paying for 1,000 impressions? Like all of these things matter a lot, because getting a lead or getting a sale is a process. People see your ads 5 to 13 times a lot of times, or like 3 to 8 times before they become a lead or make a sale with you. So what's important is that you're farming attention and you're farming leads or conversions, whatever that might be. The other thing to understand that's important that this report provides is industry benchmarks. So now that we have AI at our disposal, we can very easily benchmark where we're at with our metrics versus kind of generally speaking where the industry is at, just so we know if we're going in the right direction with some different things. Okay. And then we can see it's going to break down why things are working the way they're working in the account. It's going to break down why certain ads are working to get the end result and why certain ads are working to get the beginning result, which is attention. Because remember, your ads have 2 goals: attention and getting an objective, right? It's not just getting the objective. If you only focus on getting the objective and you just run a bunch of direct response, and you're only talking about buying from you and doing business from you, remember, that's, people don't like that. They think that's annoying. It's like going on the first date and asking someone to marry you, right? So we want to have good attention ads that have great click-through, that are generally doing well, as far as farming attention, so then we can retarget people and get the leads, because that's mostly where that happens, and ensuring we have the right mix. Okay, and so it also gives us a good copywriting breakdown on the headlines and the primary text. And this translates to a lot of your other marketing. That's kind of the nice thing about Meta, is you can see in real time how your messaging is working on people, like if they click on your messaging. So these are based on unique CTR. That's why we capture unique CTR as a metric when we generate the report. So you can test different headlines. Like, how can you do better job messaging in your headlines? Well, in your rapid testing, it's a great place to test that. And these might be good messages when you see one that's working better, like this one here is working really well for the client, or it's kind of in the higher place for the client. We could focus on certain things we think are working there, like cutting costs. The state of New Jersey funds it. They're a B2B commercial outfitter that uses government-backed subsidies to get their clients to do big commercial retrofits, these big expensive commercial construction jobs. So The next part of the analytics report are recommendations, right? It starts to recommend like what you should do at the media buying level, and what you're going to want to do with some creative iteration and creating new creative. And then we have a full industry benchmark here, that benchmarks us against the general industry. And I can tell you this account is doing pretty well. I would say for the most part, the CPMs are high, and the unique click through rate is high, which is good. Which that's the other part of the data interpretation is sometimes a metric being high is a good thing, and sometimes a metric being high is a bad thing, right? So here this breaks it down as far as where it says what it means when you really want to dig into that. Well, uh, why is this good? It says this is a good metric because generally in the industry with like B2B offers on construction like this, the click through rate's really low. It's like below 1%. And we're more than doubling that because we have interesting ads that grab the attention and convey the offer very well. Um, then there's an appendix here with more of a breakdown. If you're more of a nerd, you can look at more of the direct data attribution. And then there's a legend if you need a reminder on some of these analytics terms. So, the devil's in the details, as they say. And this is another reason why running your own ads in your own business is so useful because you get so much other data that you can learn from for your copywriting, your messaging, the creative imagery that's working for people, what your hold rates are, what your hook rates are for video. And then you have great actionable advice here that you can follow to go ahead and take those ads to new levels. So I hope this is helpful. And the other thing to do is that if you've generated one of these before, you start doing this on a weekly basis. Like if you're smart and you actually schedule this, you put it in your calendar, like do my analytics once a week for my ads. Add the report from last week to this one, so it can reference those numbers as well. And what it'll do is it'll start giving you details on the changes in your numbers, what's changing in the numbers, and maybe why. Which is another thing that analytics do for us is they give us the why of what's happening. Okay, so just a quick breakdown. Nowadays, more than ever, algorithmic distribution is tied more and more to the identity of positive signals. So if you're a business owner that got this far in the video, like the video so other business owners like you can find this to get this tool as well. Now, think of someone you know that this would also help and text or maybe even DM them the share link for this video who's also a business owner so you can help them. If you run into a problem using the tool attached to this video, just leave a comment here. Or better yet, if it works for you, come back and post your experience to help other business owners like you as well. Remember the old saying, early to bed, early to rise, work like hell, and advertise.